From the dawn of civilization, a stark reality has shadowed humanity: inequality. It transcends borders, cultures, and ideologies, manifesting in disparities of wealth, power, and opportunity. Throughout history, countless thinkers, revolutionaries, and reformers have grappled with this conundrum. But despite their efforts, inequality persists, adapting to changing circumstances like a chameleon, blending into its environment. In this exploration, we delve into the intricate web of factors that contribute to the perpetuation of inequality. From the pharaohs of ancient Egypt to the tech giants of today, the faces of inequality have changed, but the underlying pattern remains constant. Ancient civilizations were often rigidly stratified, with power and wealth concentrated in the hands of a select few. The American and French revolutions, fueled by ideals of individual rights and liberties, sought to create more equitable societies. These were pivotal moments in our collective history, yet they did not eradicate inequality. To truly grasp the enduring nature of inequality, we must journey back to the cradle of civilization. In Mesopotamia, where agriculture first blossomed, we also witnessed the emergence of social hierarchies. The invention of farming led to specialization of labor and disparities in power and wealth. Even in ancient Greece, democracy coexisted with slavery, highlighting the chasm between free citizens and those denied basic rights. The Roman Empire, with its grandeur, was also built on the backs of slaves. The seeds of disparity, sown in antiquity, continue to take root and flourish throughout these eras. The Industrial Revolution brought about a seismic shift in the landscape of inequality. The rise of factories created a new class divide: the factory owners and the factory workers. Cities swelled with people seeking employment, leading to overcrowded slums and rampant poverty. Child labor became a grim reality for many families struggling to survive. This period witnessed the birth of labor unions, fighting for workers' rights and fair treatment. The Industrial Revolution exposed the dark underbelly of unfettered capitalism and its potential to create vast disparities in wealth and power. The 20th century was a period of immense upheaval and transformation. Despite these dramatic shifts, the struggle against inequality remained a constant thread. The Great Depression highlighted the fragility of a system that concentrated wealth in the hands of a few. The latter half of the 20th century witnessed the rise of social movements challenging various forms of inequality. The civil rights movement in the United States fought for racial equality and justice. These movements revealed the deeply entrenched nature of inequality and the ongoing struggle to dismantle systemic barriers. To understand the persistence of inequality, we must delve into the mechanics of wealth accumulation. One key principle is the concept of the wealth multiplier. Wealth begets wealth at a rate often exceeding economic growth, especially when considering returns on investments. The wealthy can afford riskier, higher return investments, further accelerating their accumulation. This cycle perpetuates financial disparity, making it a significant contributor to enduring inequality. The disparity in wealth growth rates, amplified over generations, creates a widening gap that's difficult to bridge. Inheritance plays a crucial role in perpetuating inequality across generations. Children born into wealthy families inherit more than just money; they inherit social capital, access to elite networks, and the best education and healthcare. Conversely, those born into poverty often inherit the disadvantages faced by their parents. Inheritance acts as a powerful mechanism that reinforces existing socioeconomic hierarchies. While often touted for their ability to allocate resources efficiently, markets aren't immune to perpetuating inequality. Markets are susceptible to biases, power imbalances, and systemic issues that can exacerbate existing disparities. Labor market segmentation can lead to wage stagnation and fewer benefits for certain workers. Market failures, such as information asymmetry, can disadvantage certain groups. When markets fail to address these issues, they can exacerbate existing inequalities, highlighting the need for regulatory frameworks and social safety nets. Economic systems and policies play a significant role in shaping inequality, but social and cultural factors are also influential. Unconscious bias can influence our decisions, even when we strive to be fair and impartial. In hiring practices, unconscious bias can lead to qualified candidates being overlooked. Social networks and relationships often play a crucial role in accessing opportunities. These networks tend to be segregated along socioeconomic lines, limiting social mobility. The legacy of bias acts as an invisible barrier, hindering progress towards a more equitable society. In today's hyper-connected world, we are bombarded with messages that equate success with material possessions. This culture of consumption creates a constant pressure to acquire the latest gadgets and designer clothes. For those struggling to make ends meet, the pressure to keep up with societal expectations can lead to debt and financial instability. The culture of consumption often distracts from the systemic issues that perpetuate inequality. The insatiable appetite for consumer goods has a significant environmental impact, disproportionately affecting marginalized communities. Acknowledging the deeply ingrained social and cultural factors that contribute to inequality is only the first step. Breaking down these barriers requires a multifaceted approach that addresses both individual attitudes and systemic issues. Education plays a crucial role in dismantling prejudice and promoting empathy. Social policies and programs are essential in creating a more level playing field. Promoting civic engagement and empowering marginalized communities to advocate for their rights is crucial. Political systems and policies act as powerful levers, capable of either mitigating or exacerbating inequality. Progressive taxation is a cornerstone of redistributive policies. Minimum wage laws serve as a crucial safety net for low-wage workers. Strong labor unions play a vital role in reducing income inequality and improving working conditions. Investments in public goods and infrastructure benefit society as a whole, but their impact is often felt more profoundly by disadvantaged communities. While the potential for positive change through policy is undeniable, political systems themselves are often susceptible to the very inequalities they aim to address. The concentration of wealth and power can distort democratic processes, giving an outsized voice to special interests. Lobbying, campaign finance, and revolving doors between government and industry can create a system where policies are shaped more by corporate interests than the public good. When people lose faith in the political process, they are less likely to engage, creating a vicious cycle of apathy and disengagement. Addressing the deeply entrenched nature of inequality requires a fundamental shift in our approach to politics and policy. Campaign finance reform is crucial in reducing the influence of money in politics. Strengthening democratic institutions, protecting voting rights, and promoting civic engagement are essential in restoring trust. Creating a more equitable future demands a collective effort to challenge the status quo and advocate for policies that promote social justice and economic opportunity. The United States, often touted as the land of opportunity, presents a perplexing paradox. It's a nation built on the ideals of equality and individual freedom, yet it grapples with some of the highest levels of income inequality among developed countries. The American dream, the belief that anyone, regardless of their background, can achieve success through hard work and determination, has become increasingly elusive for many. While the U.S. boasts a high GDP and technological prowess, the gap between the rich and the poor has been steadily widening for decades. Several factors contribute to this trend. Financial deregulation, tax cuts that disproportionately benefit the wealthy, and declining union membership have all played a role in concentrating wealth at the top. Stagnant wages, rising healthcare and housing costs, and limited social safety nets have made it increasingly difficult for low- and middle-income families to make ends meet. This growing inequality has far-reaching consequences. It erodes social mobility, making it harder for people to climb the economic ladder. It undermines trust in institutions and fuels political polarization, and it perpetuates cycles of poverty and disadvantage, limiting opportunities for millions of Americans. In contrast to the American experience, the Nordic countries, Denmark, Finland, Iceland, Norway, and Sweden, often stand as examples of greater economic equality. These nations consistently rank high on global indexes of social mobility, happiness, and overall well-being, suggesting that their approach to mitigating inequality holds valuable lessons. The Nordic model, as it's often called, is characterized by a strong social safety net, universal health care, free education, and robust labor unions. These policies are funded through a progressive tax system, where higher earners contribute a larger proportion of their income to support social programs. While not without their challenges, such as maintaining economic competitiveness in a globalized world, the Nordic countries demonstrate that prioritizing social welfare and reducing inequality can lead to a higher quality of life for all citizens. Their experience challenges the notion that economic growth and social equity are mutually exclusive. Instead, the Nordic model suggests that investing in human capital, promoting social mobility, and fostering a sense of shared responsibility can create a more prosperous and harmonious society. Their example serves as a valuable case study for other nations grappling with rising inequality and seeking to create a fairer and more just society. While the challenges of inequality are evident in developed countries, they are often magnified in the developing world. India, a nation experiencing rapid economic growth and technological advancement, also grapples with persistent poverty and a widening wealth gap. Despite lifting millions out of poverty in recent decades, India's economic boom has not benefited everyone equally. The benefits of growth have often been concentrated among the wealthy elite, while a significant portion of the population continues to struggle with basic needs. The caste system, a deeply entrenched social hierarchy, continues to influence opportunities and life outcomes for millions of Indians, despite efforts to dismantle this discriminatory system. Discrimination based on caste, religion, and gender further exacerbates inequality, limiting access to education, healthcare, and economic opportunities. Furthermore, rapid urbanization and environmental degradation pose significant challenges, particularly for the most vulnerable populations. Slums proliferate in cities ill-equipped to handle the influx of people seeking a better life, while climate change threatens agricultural livelihoods and exacerbates water scarcity. Addressing these complex and interconnected challenges requires a multi-pronged approach that focuses not only on economic growth, but also on social justice, environmental sustainability, and empowering marginalized communities. Our exploration into the complexities of inequality reveals a sobering truth. It's a deeply rooted issue, interwoven with the very fabric of human history, economics, and social structures. From the dawn of civilization to our modern, interconnected world, the struggle for a more equitable society has been a persistent theme, marked by both progress and setbacks. We've seen how economic systems, while capable of generating wealth, can also exacerbate disparities. The wealth multiplier, inheritance, and market failures all contribute to a system where advantages accumulate for the few, while disadvantages become entrenched for the many. Social and cultural norms, often operating below the surface, further reinforce these inequalities, shaping our perceptions, opportunities, and interactions. Political systems, wielding immense power to shape a more just society, often fall prey to the influence of wealth and power, perpetuating the very inequalities they aim to address. Yet, as we've seen from the global case studies, different approaches and policy choices can make a tangible difference in the lives of millions. The fight against inequality is not a battle against any one group or system, it's a collective responsibility to create a world where everyone, regardless of their background, has the opportunity to thrive. It's about ensuring that the benefits of progress are shared more equitably, and that the most vulnerable among us are not left behind. Creating a more equitable future requires a fundamental shift in our perspectives, priorities, and actions. Move beyond acknowledging inequality to actively challenging the systems that perpetuate it. Education fosters empathy, critical thinking, and understanding of systemic inequality. Equip future generations to challenge injustice and create positive change. Support policies promoting economic opportunity, social justice, and sustainability. Advocate for progressive taxation, invest in education and healthcare, strengthen social safety nets and promote sustainable development. Address global inequality through international cooperation and fair trade, examine our biases, challenge discrimination and advocate for change, recognize our shared humanity and work together for a better future. The path to equity is challenging, but we must undertake it together. Stay informed, stay engaged, and let's create a world where everyone thrives.